at their AGM this week. Everton majority shareholder Farhad Moshiri said, "When I look at the table, it's just not good enough." They are 11th with 27 points, which is exactly what they had last season.
Yeah.
Has he got a point?
Yeah, I think he has. You know, they spent 88 odd million in the transfer window, brought in some fantastic players with Charlison, Bernard, Sigurdsson obviously was there, Andre Gomez, who's absolutely world class for me. If they can keep hold of him, that would be brilliant. But they've been disappointing. Some of the games that they've lost, West Ham, Leicester, Brighton, they've only drawn, I think, against Chelsea out of the top 6. So it's a bit sort of stop-start. They've had a lot of draws as well this season. So there's every right for them to sort of be disappointed. They wanted the manager, didn't they? They obviously touted him beforehand. They couldn't get him then. They obviously finally got him. But they've obviously come out now and set a plan for the future and said, obviously, now's not good enough, but let's pick it up and see where we can go.
I mean, given the investment that has been made, which Sid alluded to, both in player personnel and the manager, do you think that Farhad Moshiri is entitled to feel this really is...
Absolutely right. You know, he's spent an awful lot of money. Listen, we're still just over the halfway part of the season. I'd still expect Everton to finish 8th, 9th inside the top 10, which is probably where they should finish, given the other teams that are playing so well. And I go as far as down the league into where Manchester United are at the moment, you know, struggling to break into the top 4. But it's a huge amount of investment, not only in the playing spend, but the commitment to the new stadium as well. You know, that's going to cost over 500 million. I mean,
they are talking big. He's, you know, as you know, the new stadium they hope to have within about 5 years. He's talking about winning the title.
I mean, well, he can't go to an AGM and say, we're just going to finish top 10, you know. I mean, winning the title, clearly, if he's going to back it up with pound notes, fair enough. But you talk about £500 million investment, 350 of that coming from private equity and the...
he said he'll make up the rest.
He'll make up the rest. But,
great for Everton fans to hear that.
Great to hear that. But then you've got to spend another 500 million on players to challenge the top 4 because they'll be improving season on season. So he's got to pay and finance the stadium plus a title challenge inside within 10 years. I'm not so sure.
It's difficult. I mean, I always go back to Arsenal, and they obviously went from Highbury to the Emirates to really catapult them to newer heights, and it never really sort of took off. I mean, unlucky for them at the time because obviously the finances were elsewhere, but that's still the same scenario with Everton. You know, they're saying this plan and the fans will love it, but everyone else is going to have a 4, 5, 6, 7 year plan. All the other teams are around them, so there's going to be a lot of spend. Listen, it's realistic. As Phil said, if there's going to be pound notes thrown at it and a lot of it as well, then they've got every chance. But you know, they've got a basis to do it at the moment. You know, there has been slight improvements. I like the manager, the players that they've got there. They play good football. It's just that consistency they need to get going, and I think a mentality as well, because going to Goodison back in the day was so tough. I mean, it was very difficult, very difficult.
Is it a case of also Everton are they finding a new playing style and a new identity on the field? Now, traditionally, they played a certain way and won some great trophies, but that was quite some time ago.
Dogs of war.
And in more recent times, they've been gritty, strong, and that's where they've achieved real stability under the likes of Joe Royle, David Moyes.
Yeah, but I think, you know, fans are now getting a little bit more sophisticated, aren't they? They want to see a certain style of football, and the manager that Silva is, he can provide that attacking, free-flowing football. And you have to be, if you're going to challenge, you look at Pep, you look at Klopp, Pochettino. These are young managers that are progressive season on season, they adapt, and Silva's got to be one of those managers. Has he got the players at the moment? I'm not sure. But again, if that spend's going to happen season on season, it is a project. How long he stays there, and I'm not trying to get anyone sacked, but, you know, chairmen have very short fuses, don't they? It might be a long-term project, but if he's saying that he's unhappy with the position now, you know, what happens at the end of the season if they're outside the top 10?
Well, he said it with Marco Silva sat next to him. So if you're Marco Silva, you know, you're going to have to play. You're going to have to play.
Yeah.
You're going to have to play. 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 You're Do you...
Well, that's the pressures, you know. Well, that's the pressures of taking big jobs. You know, he'd have gone into the hot seat. They would have known what the targets were, season on, season out, and the job is to get that football club into the top 6, into the top 4. You know, again, obviously now the future, what they're saying is obviously to win the league. You know, that's way down the line for me. But just going back there on the players, I think what the fans there have been so used to is watching an Everton side with passion and grit and determination, and now where it's evolving into that more flared player, they've got to kind of get grips with, you know, is that football suited for them, or have the fans got to change for the players, or have the players got to start rolling their sleeves up a bit more for what the fans want?
It's that word, isn't it? Transition. Club in transition, playing style, philosophy.
Depends how long.